Why he going through your phone? He miserable. I can't believe they did you wrong. Pitiful. She said she wanna drink my cum. Ooh. I wanna fuck when she blind. Ooh. Why he going through your phone? He miserable. I can't believe they did you wrong. Pitiful. She said she wanna drink my cum.
Hey guys, welcome back to another little mini chit chat video. So you guys, I wanted to go ahead and do my little late night chit chat with you guys tonight. Before we go ahead and get into today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and consider subscribing, joining the family. We'd love to have you guys. For those of you who are already subscribed, thank you so much for doing so. We do appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, guys, so I want to talk about Toronto and the gun violence that's now plaguing the city as summer has begun. So for those of you who are not in Canada or not in Toronto, not from Toronto, not familiar, so Toronto is one of the largest cities in Canada. It's in the province of Ontario, in which I live. I grew up in Toronto. I moved away from the city about 13 to 14 years ago because I wanted to raise my daughter outside of what I grew up in. Not that I had any issues with my childhood, but I did grow up in a dangerous part of the city, and I've lived in most places in Toronto. But over the years, it just became worse and worse and worse. So by the time I became a parent, at the age of 28, I was like, yep, it's time to, it's time to start making plans to leave the city. And I had the opportunity to leave when my daughter was turning 6 years old. So we left and we have not been back. Of course, I've been back to visit over the years, but I haven't really been in the city aside from going to like Raptor games or going to like concerts. Like I went to Beyonce's concert. All that stuff was in the city. But that's downtown Toronto, which has now also become, well, it always had its sketchy parts, but now crime has now been more so on the front page, on the front streets, no longer in dark alleyways and corners. It's just happening broad daylight. There's shootings, there's all type of weird stuff going on. There's a lot of homelessness now, downtown Toronto. There's a lot of people suffering from different substance abuses, mental health issues. All these people kind of congregate in this particular space. I've talked about this before on my channel. There's a lot, just traveling on the transit is very dangerous. There's a lot of incidents happening on Toronto Transit, whether it's the subways, the buses. There's just a lot going on. And people are losing their lives, just going about their daily day. Just you have people pushing people in train tracks and stuff like that, which you've always had these things here and there. I remember, growing up, you hear things happen, but it's just the rate at which they're happening now is just really out of control. So it's not safe to go into the city. So that's one of the main reasons. That's one of the main things that kind of hinders me in terms of content production, which is kind of why I had to kind of, align my channel based on, my life and what I'm doing. I couldn't really be like, there are a lot of people that I watch from the city. I support their channels. They're more outdoor vloggers. They do the walking videos, the downtown, the trains. They take you guys, all over the city. They do like all these, outdoor videos and stuff like that. And I would love to have been able to, do a walking video in the city. Guys, I love to do my little walking videos. I would have loved to, go into my old neighborhood and like, show you guys what middle school I went to, and all that fun stuff that some people who create content on YouTube, they get the opportunity to do. However, unfortunately, because things have become so dangerous, I just would not put myself at risk to, not for a video, definitely not. but even in terms of just enjoying my life, like sometimes I would love to go down to the lakefront, downtown Toronto. I would love to go, walk along the lake shore, go have a meal, all that type of stuff. The scenery is beautiful. You're right there on Lake Ontario is right there. And you can't even do that these days because, like I said, there's a lot of little mini tent cities popping up everywhere. There's a lot of different people out and about. People are getting mugged and all this type of stuff is going on. The same thing that's happening to our neighboring city, New York, which is like just 8 hours away. We literally share that border up at Niagara Falls. After Buffalo and all that comes New York City. They're also suffering like a huge crime wave, and that's all kind of trickling down the Eastern Front. So we're feeling it, they're feeling it, everywhere in between. Excuse me, everywhere in between is kind of feeling this unsafeness that's kind of going on. And honestly, we've been talking and talking more and more about just, leaving Ontario in general because it's coming to the point where nowhere is safe. There is nowhere where there isn't incidences. For instance, which is what led me to make this video, watching the news. So summertime, we all know, you come from the city, we all know summertime stuff is always going to pop off. You're always going to have shootings and things of that. That's because everybody's just outside, and a lot of these shootings are opportunistic. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. It's late. It's kind of like, I see you, I don't know when I'm going to get to see you again. Let me just whip out and do what I gotta do, not really caring about the innocent people that are around. So it's usually like at a mall, at a parade, like Caravana time, Labor Day weekend, and lots of people are outside. So we've kind of grown up, being aware of those things, be very cautious when you go out. However, nowadays, it's become just so brazen. I'm talking broad daylight. Sun is barely in the sky. Kids are going to school. People are, going to work. Things and, people are out and about getting their day started. And the violence is just popping off. And it's so early in the morning. That's becoming, more prevalent. Innocent bystanders just being randomly attacked for no apparent reason. That's become more happening more and more, which is making things even more scary. And I know it's sad to say, but when you grow up in a society with targeted violence, you get used to in your mindset saying, okay, if they have issues, it's going to be when they meet at a club, or it's going to be, when they meet at a basketball game or something, or barbecue or whatever, not where you're going to be. Is how you grow up in the city. You know what I mean? So, okay, I know up here is not safe. I'm not going there, so I should be good over here. And you grow up with that kind of out of sight, out of mind type of mentality. Unfortunately, nowadays, you don't even have that luxury to kind of be like out of sight, out of mind, because it's happening every single where. On the news, they talked about neighborhoods. So they had like 5 shootings yesterday, one last night, and I believe a couple the day before that. So like in the space of just a couple days, there's been like a rash of shootings in the city and in the suburbs, places that I would have, when I was growing up, there wasn't even no houses out there. It was just like one or two houses, and it was just all land. Now it's just in the news all the time now, and it's crazy because it's just like, wow, like when did that happen? um so yeah, once again, Toronto and the neighboring cities and suburbs is become unsafe once again. And it's like it goes through this cycle, where you might grow up and you have your set of stuff go on and you lose friends along the way, and then everybody kind of gets old and their kids grow up and your kids grow up, and then you have a little bit of peace for like a certain amount of years, and then it all starts all over again. It's like a cycle, unfortunately. These days it's just the level of violence is like out of control. There is complete disregard for life. Back in the day, you'd have things done in a way where not try to minimize, you know, innocent people being hurt, but nowadays there's no code, there's no nothing. It's just like they don't care. So you have to be very, very careful. I know I for one don't go to Toronto anymore. And that makes me really sad because like that's my city, you know what I mean? I'm such a city girl. But unfortunately I have to, you know, venture further away to find the things that I would find in Toronto that I can, you know, put back into my life. Like I have to travel further to find the bigger malls. I have to travel further to get to the bigger outlets. I have to, you know, travel further because going the other way is just not an option. It's just not safe. And I would never let my daughter go into the city. Me, I got low city smarts. I got low street smarts. You know what I mean? I can maneuver a little bit. And even me now getting up there into my, you know, I'm going to be 46 this year. I'm not trying to be like doing all this extra stuff just to go to H&M at Eaton Center downtown Toronto. It's not that serious to me. I can just go to H&M somewhere else. I'll just order online. That has become the life. You know, just order things online. Don't venture out too much. Be very, very careful. Don't stay out too late. Today we went out and we were back by 6, like before sundown. Even in my small town where I live, we get the remnants of that stuff, right? Because people do whatever they do in the cities and then they run and hide in the suburbs. So you start getting the remnants of that, start drifting up this way, and it's just like nowhere is really safe. Um, and that makes, you know, that's just really, really sad because Toronto has so many great landmarks. I've showed you guys before the CN Tower. I've shown you guys before the Sky Dome. I would have the Rogers Center we've seen. I would love to like just be able to go and walk downtown. It has such a beautiful skyline. There's just so much to do. The food is off the chain, shopping, just so much to do. Unfortunately, nowadays a lot of things are not even open anymore. Like a lot of things have closed down, moved away just because of, you know, the theft and the violence and all of that. So the city is not even the same. You have just a ton of condos and, you know, all these storefronts that are closed now, all the stores in the mall and stuff like that. Everything is, if it's not closed, it's on its way to being closed. And if it's not closed and it's still doing business, it's heavily security, like heavy, armed security. So it doesn't even feel like safe shopping anymore. So I just shop online or I go further afield. But every day in the news now, you hear things happening further and further afield. Because of course, when things get difficult, the people that are doing the things that are they're not supposed to be doing, they also go further afield. So it's like you can't even get away from that stuff. And I don't know, it's just it makes me really sad to think about like it's summertime and the city is just like so unsafe and it's like you can't even get to enjoy your summer. We only get 90 days of summer and then it's back to winter, back to the winter jackets, back to the bitter cold, back to staying inside, right? So in the summer, people like to be outside, like getting their vitamin D, soaking up the sun, enjoying their time off work. A lot of people take vacation during summer, you know, to just relax and chill out. And nowadays, you can't even do that. So it's really sad. It's really sad, and I don't know how they're, you know, I don't know how it can be fixed. It seems to be so far gone. Like, it just seems to have taken on, it has become a beast unto itself. Like, I don't even know who could really tackle the problem and get it back under control. There's so many different viewpoints on this stuff that I don't know how we will reach a common ground. There's just so much on the table, like so many different issues on the table, and everybody thinks their viewpoint is the viewpoint, and everybody thinks they're right, and there's no compromise. So unfortunately, it just seems like the you know you as a private individual just have to make your own judgments based on what's best for you and your family, and make smart decisions, and just, you know, be careful. So yeah, that's kind of my little mini talk. If you're from Toronto and you can relate to what I'm speaking to, let me know. If you're from a city that's kind of going through similar changes, let me know. Like, I know it's happening everywhere. A lot of the big cities are feeling this huge sense of unsafeness these days. People are not really getting to enjoy the lifestyle they envisioned for their 30s and 40s. I know I'm not. I know a lot of people envisioned, you know, spending their time growing up in the city that they love with their children, you know, doing things with their children as their children now become young adults, you know, going down to UFT, University of Toronto, you know, hanging out with your children, taking them out to eat, going to eating center, shopping, maybe go see a movie, you know, enjoying the city like that. People work hard, pay taxes to, you know, modernize and make it be one of the best cities in the world. Everybody comes to visit here. Toronto is like the place to be when you come to Canada, aside from, you know, Vancouver and Calgary and Montreal. It's really a top tier city, and it's unfortunate that the element of unsafeness has now taken hold of the city, and it's just spiraling, and it's really sad. So let me know if you guys, like I said, can relate. And yeah, thank you guys so much. If you made it to the end of the little mini video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch up with you guys in another video. Thank you to everyone who is already subscribed. We do appreciate you guys. Stay up and stay blessed, and we'll catch up with you guys in another video. Deuces.